It is a special New Year's Eve edition of the Section YY8 podcast. I'm Nice, that's Harb. If you're listening to us, thank you for listening, by the way. But if you're watching us, we're actually recording in the daytime, Harb. It's not nighttime outside.
It is
Unbelievable.
12:30 on New Year's Eve.
And we did it for you, the people. We wanted you to have something to listen to tonight when the clock strikes midnight, right?
Yeah, yeah. Relive that incredible bowl game from
Yeah.
Tuesday. The
Yeah, you
ringing.
can sit there and listen to us talk about the miserable performance last night and talk about the miserable season. Maybe that's what I'll title this episode, just miserable, because
Hmm.
that's what it was. Um, Not terrible, but just miserable. We had nothing to hang our hats on, nothing to really cheer about all year, except me and Griff and Patrick going to Mississippi State and winning a game in overtime. That was about it. I mean, what else do we talk about this year? Congratulations. I won a game on the road.
Beat
Finally.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I beat Arkansas. I saw Joey Cox yesterday at Food City, and I said, Joey, I don't want to hear it. I'm here. I'm not in Nashville. It's not my fault. And they still lost, and I wasn't there. So I want to like that narrative, that fake stat has got to stop. It's actually not a fake stat, but that narrative's got
Off,
to stop. Not
so
my
off the top of
fault.
my head, off the top of my head, are we 1-3 in Music City Bowls in the last 20
Ever.
years?
Ever.
It's the only four we've ever been to.
Lost to North Carolina in 2010 by
Screwed
three.
up.
By
What
three.
weird.
Check
What
this.
weird.
Check this out. By three. Um, Beat Nebraska. What was that? We won by like 10 or something like that.
I think something like that.
2016 season. Then you go out there and in 21 and lose to Purdue by, is it three? Yes,
Yeah.
three. Yeah, lose by three, and then you lost last night by two. By my math, that's three losses of 8 points in the Music City Bowl
Yeah. Uh,
to
that was.
middling ACC and Big Ten teams. Is middling the right word?
Yeah, I mean, you can use whatever word you want to. Illinois is not good. They're just not. And I
Are
think that's what bothers me the most because Music City Bowl just did not get me out of my seat. I was not excited about this game. I wanted us to win, end on a little bit of a high note. But with that loss, we went the entirety of 2025 without beating a bowl eligible college football team.
that's the most unbelievable stat I think from this season is yeah, we had 8 wins. And most of the time, I think we've said on here, and a lot of people around us have said eight wins is the floor, right?
Mm.
And we got that this year. So we're at the floor, right? But it doesn't feel like it. It feels like we're in the crawl space right now.
Yeah, and we may be in for a rude awakening next year. This schedule was so much easier than next year's is going to be, which a lot of things can change with portal and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's no redeeming qualities from this game. I'm officially out on Max Gilbert. I wish you the best of luck. It's probably time for a change of scenery. It's probably best for both parties because if we trot him back out there next year, he's going to get his ass booed off the field, and it's going to get in his head, and he's probably going to get worse. So you might as well just, more than likely, just bring somebody else in and let him get a fresh start somewhere else.
I agree.
But
I've defended the kid. I mean, you've heard me talk about him. I've
I
tweeted
did
about
too.
it. I mean,
I
you
did
have
too.
too. Like I've I didn't put the Georgia loss on him. Yeah, he should have made that field goal, but he didn't. But we did a lot of other things in that game that cost us that football game. Uh, he wasn't the sole reason we lost the Music City Bowl last night, but he's got to make that kick, man. I mean, that I'm sorry. I know that gets thrown around a lot. Like, that's your only job, and that is their only job. But anything inside 50 yards anymore for field goal kickers, especially when you get to this level, it's almost I don't want to say automatic. It's like a layup anymore. It's the 50 plus yarders. I mean, they're making those like layups, especially in the NFL anymore. And this kid, it just seems like when the lights get bright, spotlight gets on him, he shrivels. You could just see his body language last night when he missed that kick. He's in his own head. It's like a golfer can't hit a big putt. It's like a basketball player that misses a big free throw all the time. I mean, it was a 39-yard chip shot, and you could tell off of his foot it was no good. I was watching it Slagles last night. As soon as he kicked it, I said, "That's off." And his body language, I think G-Man Vol on Twitter posted a picture. I sent it to maybe you all and several others, and he's just after he misses it, he's just like looking around, and you can just see he has zero confidence. Yeah, he made what 21 out of 27 this year or something like that. Percentage is really high. But he
But
didn't make anything of significance. I
you
mean,
remember all the misses though. That's what
yeah.
that's
I
what
mean,
sucks.
yes, he kicked a field goal in overtime against Georgia that was about as tough as the one he missed. And that's great, but don't miss that first one. He just can't. I just don't. I don't see how this relationship continues for him and us. I think you're right. He trots out there next year. Nobody's. I mean, even me and you are now off the train, and that's bad because me and you have been defending him all year long. Um, did you see? I'm pretty sure that either him or his family have created a burner account on Twitter and they're like arguing with Tennessee fans online. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. But there were several people saying Max Gilbert's got to go. We need a new kicker. And then they're like, this account's like arguing with him. And it's got to be him or his family. It's got to be.
I don't have anything for that, to be honest with you.
Um, yeah,
But
I saw that this
but
morning, by the way. It
to
just,
Max Gilbert's credit, he does not play linebacker.
no, no, he doesn't.
We let Illinois run for 233 rushing yards on us. Just absolutely sorry effort from the front seven. Which had two guys out. Whoop de doo. Front seven wasn't that great with them. Let's just be honest. Um, I love Ronnie Garner. I think this was his worst defensive line in this new stint at Tennessee under him. Just they had some hype behind him, and
I mean, that was supposed to be the strength of the defense this year. That and the secondary. We knew the linebackers might be a little mid, but the defensive line, they had moments this year. Um, but you're right. I mean, take Joseph's out last night. I mean, they got pushed around all night long last night. I mean, you gave up you said it, 233 yards to Illinois. You and I shared this with you before we started recording. 314 rushing yards against Vandy, 233 rushing yards against Illinois. That's what Tennessee gave up. 547 yards rushing in two games, the final two games of the season. It's
you're
just
just
not,
never going to win a football game like that.
no. And that's why, you know, Tennessee's offense wasn't great last night in Nashville, but they also weren't out there very much because Tennessee's defense could not get off the field. And they allowed Illinois to go for 8 plays, for 10 plays, for 12 plays. And you know, Brett Bielema, he's going to run the play clock down to about 5 every time before they snap it. That's just how he is. But the defense, I mean, I think since we recorded last, we've hired Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator from Penn State. Was listening to some post game reaction last night. The VolQuest guys and some others, they're expecting. I haven't seen anything yet as of 12:47 p.m. here on New Year's Eve, but they're expecting within the next 48 hours because the portal opens January 2nd that there could be some changes on that side of the football staff wise. I don't know what that is. I have my own feelings about some of them. I think Willie Martinez, he needs to go. Um, Rodney Garner, I don't think you can. get rid of him and he's back. He's apparently signed an extension. I mean, his work goes for itself. I mean, it shows what he's done in the past. Yeah, they had a down year this year. They still had some good players. Joshua Josephs is going to get drafted. I don't know what Damian Hobbs is going to do. I think he's still got some eligibility left. Maybe he comes back. He probably needs to, but I don't. Tyree West. I don't know what his plans look like. I can't remember if he's out of eligibility or not. But I mean, they had some bright spots, but they just didn't have that normal Tennessee defensive line top season that we've been used to here. But I mean, if Josh Heupel and these guys want to be here after 2026, they're going to have to make some personnel changes on that side of the football. And I mean, they've already started it. They're going to have to make some philosophy changes, philosophical and staff changes, I'm afraid. And we can't just sit here status quo. We've been talking about this on here for a while, Harb. What does Tennessee need to do to take that next step? I think what the big question is what do they need to do to survive next year? Because that schedule is brutal, like you mentioned. And if we win 8 games or 7 games next year and we don't beat anybody worth a darn, and we're back in Charlotte or Nashville, and I'm not saying Josh Heupel gets fired, but it ain't going to be pretty around here. Um, at some point, I mean, we're in just finished year 5. At some point, you gotta make that next step. And I'm afraid he's gonna have to do it next year, but the cards ain't lining up for him to do that. I don't know. You mentioned it a minute ago. This era of football, you can turn it around pretty quick. I mean, look at Oklahoma last year. They were what, 6-7, went to a bowl game and lost, finished 6-7, and then they're in the college football playoffs this year. But it can turn the other way too. I mean, think about Columbus last year, Harb. This is what frustrates me about this. We're 10-2. We go up to Columbus. We get our brains beat in. Okay. But you've got that base to build back. You've got McCoy coming back. You've got Gibson coming back. You've got Nico coming back. You've got some unproven but solid running backs coming back. You've got some unproven but solid wide receivers maybe coming in. Hit the portal, get another one. You've got a solid offense. You've got solid pieces there. And it's like, all right, we're here. Let's see if we can do it again and make that next step and add some pieces to it. And here we are for the third straight year, starting all over again. Now going into the fourth year, starting all over again. Why are we constantly rebuilding? And that was a follower of the show, friend of mine, Jacob Pratt. He was asking it on Twitter, and I was like, it's hard to stay in that realm where Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia and all them are when you've got a constant flow of people leaving. And then you're having to bring in, you're just basically Tennessee the last 3 years has relied on the transfer portal to fill their team. Like we've built nothing up from the ground up. And yeah, this year we played a bunch of freshmen, but you're not going to win at this level playing freshmen everywhere. You're just not. And maybe they overcoached. Maybe they coached pretty well with these all these freshmen out there to win 8 games. I don't know, but we're in year 5. It's time to move on from that. That's like a year 1 thing. So I'm getting my blood pressure up, Harb.
No, I mean, it is what it is. This is a disappointing setback, and it's very close to the same from 22 to 23, which 23 was a little bit more expected than this one. We had a bunch of guys leaving in 22, a lot of production. Starting quarterback, Bolitnikoff, winning wide receiver. Um, I'm not going to get into the whole list there, but there's an expected drop off there. And I think there was a slight expected drop off this year, but the way we got there was just disgusting, in my opinion. Um, it just never felt like this team had an identity. And I mean, that's one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in Orange. It's just, and then with all that being said, like you're 2 to 3 plays from going 10-2, maybe being in the playoff, maybe not. And then you just absolutely handed Illinois the game. I'll give them credit; they played well, but you're also a couple plays from going 5-7 or 6-6.
Yeah. I think
So
Heupel mentioned that after the game last night. He said there's about, I don't know the number that he said, but there's a handful of plays that's going to be burned into his memory that could have made this team a 10-2 or 11-1 team. You can say that about any team. I mean, especially at this level, but you said it a couple weeks ago, and maybe somebody else did too, that we're not that far off from being 6-6 or 5-7. I mean, think about if the Arkansas game goes a different way. That's a loss. Mississippi State could have been a loss very easily. That's
mhm.
two I think about right there. So,
But inversely, if you hold on and win that Georgia game, how much does that do for confidence in that locker room going forward?
it could have
You
made
know,
the season totally different.
yeah, it's butterfly effect. I mean, I don't know, and you absolutely handed Oklahoma that game too.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. When you're a couple plays away from going 6-6, and you're a couple plays away from going 10-2, it probably means that you're about a damn 8-4 football team.
What did Bill Parcells always say?
You
You
are what
are
your
what.
records are.
And Tennessee, I keep thinking, I keep wanting to say this. It's like I feel like Tennessee's better than 8-5, 8-4. I got in an argument with Griff last night. He was like, 8-5 is unacceptable. And I was like, honestly, I said I wasn't going to get upset about this game tonight because it didn't matter, or last night, it didn't matter. Like, what's the difference in 9-4 and 8-5 after this game? Nothing really. Just looks better, I guess, is all. Makes you feel a little bit better going into the off season, and you can brag to people like, "Oh, yeah, we won our bowl game." Like Reagan texted me last night and said, "At least your team went to a bowl." I was like, "It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, that's great. We got some money out of it, but." And I hate that. I hate that it doesn't matter anymore. But I mean, the only good thing that came of that last night was Deshaun Bishop had a pretty good game. Um, we got some money out of it, I guess. I'm trying to think what else was good. The punt return by Dotson, that was kind of wild. But the thing is, I jumped all over Staley. Max Gilbert missed that kick. Staley dropped a third down reception that would have given Tennessee the first down on that possession and kept the drive alive, and he was wide open. It's just things like that all year long with this team. And just so many mental mistakes, little mistakes that added up. And I think that's what's got people frustrated is because Tennessee, you look back at 2021, 2022, especially 22, Tennessee made a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties, little errors like that, but they were able to overcome it because they just outscored everybody and they had a lot of talent on the field. Well, they're not able to do that right now. Um, and I think that's one of the big things Heupel and his staff have got to look at this offseason is they got to get tougher. They got to cut these mistakes out. I mean, the margin for error is so thin in this league. Look at last night. Okay, this is what I want to talk about too, Harb. And then I'll let you jump in. So a lot of people were jumping on Heupel last night. I was getting text messages. He's kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation here. So we score the kickoff return by Dotson. So we're up 28-27, right? Illinois drives down the field. So it's what? First and 10, what? 2 minutes. I don't know how much time was left. Tennessee's got all three timeouts. You got the one side over here. Just let him score. So we'll have three timeouts and we get the football back. I get it. I'm not against that. But you also have it where you use three timeouts, you hold them to three and out, and let them kick a field goal, and then you've still got a minute and change left to go down the field. And God, I don't know if I'd want to kick a field goal with him in that situation, but go down and try to score something. So they got it in the right situation. It's 3rd and 6. Tennessee's used two timeouts. Clock stopped. What does our defensive line do? Not one guy, but all four of them jump off sides and makes it 3rd and 1. And you knew at that point Illinois was going to get the first down. We hadn't stopped them all night running the football. I'm not sure we stopped them on 3rd and 6 if they ran the football. Maybe we do, but it's a whole lot harder to get 6 yards than one. I mean, what was Heupel? I mean, that's the thing. It's like everybody jumped on Heupel. Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you just let him score? But his team let him down, Harb. But it goes back to the mental side of things, the mental toughness. This team was soft. Like good teams don't, all four linemen don't jump off sides. And that's the things they got to correct this offseason. That's the difference between winning and losing. And this team just didn't do that. They just could not do that all year long. I mean, look at the Georgia game. Look at the Alabama game. How many mistakes were made in that game? And then yesterday, Vandy was just a shit show. But look at yesterday. I mean, just mistake after mistake costing this team. And I will jump on Heupel because that's his fault. You know, it's his responsibility to make the team tougher. And that's what they've got to look at this offseason. It's a mindset, and they've got to figure it out, or we're going to be here next season talking about a new football coach. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want that to happen, but it's where we're trekking right now.
Realistically, it's got to get real bad next year for us to start thinking about that, in my opinion. Like, I'm thinking like 5-7. I
Yeah, I
just don't
agree.
know if, especially depending on like if we throw if Aguilar's not back, we're more than likely throwing a freshman quarterback out there either way, whether it be a redshirt one in McIntyre or a true freshman Faison, or we go the portal. We're probably going to get one in the portal. I don't know if they'll start or not. Team's young, you know, got a really good recruiting class coming in. I think it's got to fall off the absolute rails for there to be a change made after next season. But it could happen. Or we could come
Well,
out there and light it up next year.
and
Who
that's
knows, man?
that's the thing I said last
I know
night.
which one's probably likely.
Yeah, I said last night. I was like, if they make the right moves, get the right players in here, right personnel, and this coaching staff clicks with these guys, they could go 10-2 next year. It's going to be tough. They might more likely 9-3 might be the ceiling you're looking for, but with that schedule, but yeah, you can turn it around and be better than you were this year. But if they make the wrong moves, if they don't make changes, it could be either the same or go worse. I mean, I was looking at, I'm just pulling it up here. I looked at it last night. I was looking at Tennessee's schedule for next year. And when you look at it just on paper for what teams are, what programs are right this second, oh, where did it go? I mean, the first three games, I think Tennessee should win. You're hosting Furman, you're hosting Kennesaw State, you're at Georgia Tech. I don't know what Georgia Tech's going to be like. I mean, they lose Haynes King, but that's a solid football team program right now. But then you host Texas. Then you host Auburn. Then you go on the road to Arkansas. Then you host Bama. Then you're on the road at Carolina. Then you host Kentucky.
Auburn's probably going to be bad.
Yeah. Then you go to A&M. Then you host LSU. And then you're on the road at Vandy. So just looking at it on paper right now, I think Tennessee goes 3-0 in those first games. I don't know about that Georgia Tech game. I don't see us beating Texas. I think we beat Auburn. We should beat Arkansas, but it's on the road with this team. You don't know. Alabama, L, South Carolina, they're not in great shape, but
Should win that one.
you should win that one. Kentucky, you should win that one. They're not great. At A&M, probably a loss. LSU at home, probably a loss. And I hate
Well,
to
we don't
say,
know.
well, you don't know, but I have no confidence. Lane's pretty good, and with the portal, I think he'll figure it out. And then you got Vandy on the road, or yeah, Vandy on the road. What's Vandy like next year? They got a lot of things changing. So, a
Yeah, they're
lot. I
gonna have a
mean,
completely different roster next year.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they had an old, like where Tennessee was very young, Vandy was very old. I mean, a lot of fifth and sixth year guys. Well, Pavi is trying to get his seventh at this point. But
He's a, what we haven't, by the way, we haven't been on here since the Heisman. What a
correct.
loser! What an
Yeah,
absolute
what?
loser!
He is our
Uh,
dual hater and loser of the week for what he did after that Heisman
and what
presentation.
he did before it, during it, after it. I mean, every time this dude talks, he just wants to ruin his public persona. And one of the Heisman voters, I'm sure everybody saw it after he went clubbing like he won it, and he had a bottle service sign that said "F Indiana," which is weird because I don't know if you watched Fernando Mendoza's speech, but he seems like the most genuine, nice human on the face of the planet. That was a great speech. But yeah, he said F Indiana, and then he put a picture on Instagram that said F all the voters. It's like what? Like what are we doing? Like, and first of all, this was one of the weakest Heisman years of all time. Like any other year, he wouldn't have even been mentioned in being a finalist.
Exactly.
I saw Fernando Mendoza's stats put up against 2019 Joe Burrow's, which Joe Burrow's season is one of the greatest ever. But I mean, it was night and day. Like Fernando Mendoza threw for like 3,900 yards this year, and Joe Burrow threw for almost 6,000.
That's crazy.
And the touchdowns were 60 to 34 or something. But yeah, dude's a loser. He's selling his mom out so he can get his comedian buddies some play. It's just weird. It's so weird, and I can't believe we let them beat the hell out of us.
Well, I mean, it just goes back to, I mean, the mentality Vanderbilt has right now compared to what we had. We were, for whatever reason, they were just tougher than we are, and you could tell that program, that team wanted it. I mean, I wanted to beat Vandy. I hate Vanderbilt, but it didn't show it on the field with the players and the staff, and I'm sure they wanted to win. But I'm looking up, by the way, I'm looking up Pavia's stats this season. He was 242 of 340, 71 completion percentage, 3,192 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So look at Peyton Manning, his senior season was 287 and 477, 60% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 38-19, 36 touchdowns, 11 INTs. Both finished second in the Heisman. That's what pisses me off. Did Peyton Manning have one of the greatest seasons in college football history? No, but he had a great career. And he did have a really good season. I mean, 36 touchdowns in a season. It's pretty good.
Especially for back then when it was more so run first.
Well, I mean, look at Tennessee's offense back then. It was 50-50. They wanted to run the football to pass it. And yeah, Manning had some big games passing the football, but you also had Jamal Lewis in the backfield, Travis Henry. Oh no, he wasn't there yet. You had Jamal Lewis, Mark Levine, um, some pretty good tailbacks back there that could run the football. Sean Bryson was back there with him in the backfield. Two guys that played in the NFL for years, Jamal Lewis and Sean Bryson. So they ran the football a lot. And it's kind of crazy that he threw for 3,819 yards. He could have thrown in today's system, he probably would have thrown for 5 or 6,000. But different day, different time. But anyways, we digress on that one. Harb, what are you looking for this offseason out of this Tennessee football program? I mean, there's no games being played now. It's all transfer portal, finishing that up, and then you go into spring ball. Like, what are you looking for from Tennessee football this offseason?
Soul searching. That's in a nutshell. That's what we're looking for.
How do they win the offseason? Like, when you go into next season, you're going to be pumped up. What's going to make you be pumped up about 2026?
Spending some money in the portal, getting some guys that are getting some linebackers for sure. I mean, you have to. That's
Yes,
I, I love T Lander. My boy's slow. It is what it is.
he needs some help.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch, but you gotta get some linebackers. Um, Figure out what happened to the O line. They started the season great and then just got worse. I
Yeah, they
don't want to say
did.
because David Sanders came in and messed up the juju. I don't know if that's what it was, but it just progressively got worse as the season went on. That Illinois game is bad. Um, I don't know. We probably need a quarterback. I don't know who I want. The cat from Cincinnati sounds pretty good, but hell, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these guys look good on paper. I don't think I want the Sam Levitt kid, but we need to make a couple more changes in the coaching staff. I'm with you on Willie Martinez. Um, I don't know if I want this human to be calling plays, but let Joey Halsey call plays next year. I don't know if I want him to do it, but just switch it up. Take that responsibility off of Heupel's hands. That way he can look at the game from a wider lens. Because I feel like he wants to do everything, and you just can't do that. So,
It's hard. I mean, it takes a special person to. I mean, look at the NFL. I mean, there's very few guys,
I mean,
but
he knows Joey Halsey and he trusts him, and Halsey obviously knows the system. Let him call plays, and then you can do the game management part. Like
yeah,
maybe that could improve clock issues, clock time management, stuff like that. Um, yeah, yeah, just get some more dudes. And another thing that I don't really want to bash them too hard on, we're still on a scholarship deficit.
we are.
Or was this the final recruiting class where we're on deficit?
I think it's done after this year. I think.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're still working with that, and we're going to have a top 10 recruiting class with scholarship deficit. Take
Yeah,
that for
it
what
looks
it's
like it
worth.
goes. It says 28 scholarships cut over 5 years, 2023 to 2028. Um,
So,
Tennessee received credit for 16 scholarships reduced from 2021 to 2022. At least, excuse me, at least two scholarships must be cut each year during the probation. Limits on official visits, unofficial visits, recruiting communication, blah, blah, blah. So it looks
but it
like,
makes sense
so,
as to why this was the down year if we had 16 scholarships cut in 21 and 22.
so there's 16 spread out, and now there's 12 remaining. So it should be close to being done.
Should be. But new kicker, get some linebackers, let
Quarter,
Halsey call plays.
quarterback.
That way, at least if the offense is still struggling, we can quit blaming it on Hopple. Um, get a running back
Yeah, yes.
because Star Thomas is gone. Peyton Lewis is transferring. Deshaun Bishop's great. You need some depth. Probably wouldn't hurt to get some O line depth, have some options. wide receiver core should be fine. I mean, you're losing Brazel, but should be okay.
Bringing in a 5 and a 4 star. Plus, you had a 4 star that got some playing time last night. Um, so there's some talent there.
Yeah, some DBs maybe. I'm spitballing here, which it is bad when you have that big of a laundry list going into the portal. That's where we are, and if you don't want to go 5-7 or 6-6, you probably need to do a few of these things.
I definitely think they need, like you said, they got to find defense, 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 linebackers, linemen, and corners, safeties, whatever. They got to find those guys. On the offensive side of the ball, you're right. They might need to plug in a lineman or two. Um, Running back, you got Dwayne Moore. I about said Brown. That's the basketball player. Dwayne Morris, who got some run last night on kickoff returns. He was fourth string running back this year, talented freshman. I mean, he's obviously, hopefully, going to be in the mix. But they need somebody else behind him who's out there in the portal that they can pick up because they brought nobody in the recruiting class at that position. I think they kind of went in on Savion Hyder that ended up going to Michigan. I was kind of hoping when all that mess went on up there with their football coach and him getting fired that he might enter the portal and come back down here, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. He's still within the window that he could do that. But the quarterback position, I think the question there is, do you go out and find somebody that can come in and start right away, like the Sorsby kid up in Cincinnati, who's apparently family lives in Hardin Valley here in Knoxville area, grew up a Tennessee fan, but does he go to Texas Tech because that's where his girlfriend is on track and field team? Do you bring somebody in like him? There's 4 or 5 good quarterbacks out there that had really good years that are going to demand a lot of attention, a lot of money. So do you spend a bunch of money on that to bridge the gap for next year to give McIntyre another year to grow up, to give Faison Brandon a year to grow up in the system? Or do you bring somebody in that's a veteran backup top guy that can fill in if needed and roll with McIntyre or Brandon? That's a huge question the staff's got this offseason is which direction do they go? I mean, Faison Brandon may be super talented. He was very highly recruited, top 3 quarterback in this year's class. McIntyre was a 5 star in last year's class. So on paper, there's 2 very talented young quarterbacks, but they've not played. Can Tennessee afford to throw a freshman, 2 freshmen out there to play, or do they go and try to get a Sorsby or the Hoover kid out at TCU or whoever it may be? There's a lot of them out there that are entering the portal. Kid at James Madison entered the
If
portal.
you throw one of the freshmen out there, if you throw one of the freshmen out there, you're gonna have a little. I don't want to call it an excuse, but there's gonna be a bit more of a patience padding,
And
especially if they struggle a little bit.
it's a little different than when they did that with Nico too, because you had a bunch of big time players around him and people that had been there, but you don't have that necessarily right now with this program. A lot of freshmen. A lot of questions are this offseason that Josh Heupel, I mean, he's going to
Yeah,
earn his money this offseason trying to figure this out because they've kind of painted them. I don't want to say they painted themselves into a corner, but you know, with not taking that next step, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner here. They've got to make some hay this year, and it's time to make the hay. It's time to bale it, put it in the barn.
I'm pissed or get off the pot.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean we're going into year 6 here, and I love. Look, y'all heard me on here. I love Josh Heupel. I think he's a smart football coach. Look how they start games, Harb. I mean nobody can stop him. But then when the game gets going and teams make adjustments, you don't know what you're going to get. But I think he's a smart football coach, but he's either got too much on his plate or their philosophy's wrong. Something is just missing to get them to 10, 9, 10, 11 wins every year. Because it seems to be they're recruiting pretty well. I mean, you recruit in the top 10 to 15. I know that's probably seventh or eighth in the SEC, but I mean, you're talking about razor thin margins. You're talking about just fractional points that these players are off from the players ahead of them. Um, but look at Georgia and Alabama. I mean, they just do it year in and year out. I mean, it can be done. It's hard, but Tennessee's not doing something right to get to that next level. I mean, look, Indiana, year two. It kind of reminds me of when Heupel came in here. You know, they made that huge jump in year two. I mean, Indiana was good last year, made the playoffs, but they weren't really a contender. But this year, they're a contender for the national title in year two, and that guy's a good football coach. But what have they done to get to that level where it's like, okay, next year they're probably going to be right back there again? You would think. I don't see them going anywhere. I don't know what their recruiting rankings were, but I'm sure. I mean, they probably weren't high last year either, and here they are. But I don't know. It's just frustrating because I just thought last year leaving Columbus, even though we got our doors blown off, it just felt like we were just right there. Like we just need a couple more pieces to make, to stay where we're at and maybe go win a playoff game this year. And it seems like every year there's 8 or 10 guys that leave and they're key pieces. Last year everybody it was all the defensive backs that left. Oh, we don't need them. We sucked, right? Our defensive backs sucked. Or was that 2 years ago? Everything's blurring together here, Harb. And here we are. Our defense still sucks. It's like, yeah, we've not developed anybody. There's no consistency. It's just year after year we're signing free agents. Just signing free agents for a year and then they're gone. Or some of them don't even play.
I do think Ty Redmond's gonna have a really good year next year.
I thought Wright played pretty well last night considering number
Mm-hmm.
0.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had a pretty decent game. And Redmond, I think Redmond grew up as the year went along, and that was great that they got to play, but it sucks because the rest of the defense as a whole was pretty pitiful. I don't know if they were as bad as the South Sincere defense in 2012, but that one was
Their numbers
bad.
side by side are pretty damn close.
I need to look that. I haven't looked at that up, but I'll the game that I always think about from that 2012 season is the Troy State game. I still call them Troy State. Yeah, Tennessee had to win. I mean, I think we had to score like 50 or 60 points to win that game because Troy just marched up and down the field on it. But it was like that all year long. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Um, it was bad. I don't know if this defense was that bad, but they weren't far behind them if they weren't.
No, yeah, it was not good.
Um, Real quick before we wrap up here, Harb's got stuff to do here on New Year's Eve. So do I. Tennessee basketball won their final non-conference game of the season last night. Harb over South Carolina State won by what 51, 52 points. South Carolina State's bad. Um, since we've been away, Tennessee had a big home win. We lost 3 in a row, and we're sitting here like, oh, what's going on? Struggling. What are we going to do? And then they come home and just beat the brakes off of Louisville. Number 11, Louisville, a very good Louisville team. 83 to 62 in Thompson Bowling Arena. I mean, a huge night from Gillespie. Then we blew the doors off of Gardner Webb, 94-52, and then South Carolina State last night, 105 to 54. Game this Saturday at Arkansas, number 18 team in the land. Uh, Common opponent, Tennessee and Arkansas both played Houston on neutral court. Tennessee beat Houston. Arkansas lost by about 15 to Houston on a neutral court. So, sure, Arkansas will be favored, though. It's at Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, we've also both hosted Louisville, and we both beat them.
Well, there you go.
I think Louisville. I think Arkansas I'll look it up just to make sure. But I think Arkansas handled Louisville as well.
Think you're right.
Arkansas won by 9, but they got up by like 18 at one point. Should be a good
Um,
game.
no, I mean, two good programs. I mean, John Calipari's always going to have a good team out there. But Tennessee's got Arkansas Saturday, Texas next Tuesday at home, and then at Florida the following Saturday, the 10th. So tough little opening stretch for the Vols. I don't think Texas is very good. They should beat them, but at Arkansas, at Florida, two tough tests to open the season. So we'll be back soon to talk about that, I'm sure, Harb, as we roll
Sure will.
into the round ball season. Tennessee basketball is back.
Around ball rock.
They turn the ball over too much.
We do.
A little loose with the basketball.
We struggle.
They,
Struggle shooting.
yeah, sometimes they don't light it up like we were used to seeing. They don't have that Lanier that can come down. I mean, Gillespie can shoot a little bit, but I mean, last year we had Lanier and
Streaky.
Ziegler. Yeah, they're very streaky. I was watching the game with Slagle last night. We pass up so many open shots trying to. This has been a problem I've had with Tennessee over the last few years. Just shoot the basketball. They're so unselfish, and it's not about me philosophy mindset that program has, and I love that. But sometimes you got to be selfish on the basketball court. You got to shoot. You got an open shot. You got to shoot it. Just shoot the basketball. And it was last night. I mean, we're at 15, 20 points, and I'm sitting there screaming at the TV, shoot the basketball. Just shoot it. Stop passing it. Especially Nate Ament. Just shoot the ball. Just shoot it. Stop trying to be unselfish and help your team. Like you can help your team by shooting the basketball and scoring. That's where you help your team. But anyways, Tennessee, Arkansas this Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. ESPN2 or on the Vol Network on the radio dial, 107.7 here in Knoxville.
Wivik.
Wivik, the flagship station of the Vol Network. Harb, it was football's over. Well, Tennessee
Thank
football's
God.
over. Tennessee football's
Thank
over. Still got the
Who's going to win the
playoffs.
national championship?
Say what?
Who's going to win the national championship?
Man, that's a tough one. I feel like it's so wide open this year. Um, I mean, I like Indiana, but can they beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl? Didn't think Alabama was going to beat Oklahoma. Um, I
I
mean,
think
look at
Indiana does beat Alabama, but I have U.S. dollars on the Georgia Bulldogs to win it all.
I mean, I think Georgia is probably the favorite. I think I like Oregon to get there and play them. Let's see. Oregon would play the winner of Indiana, Alabama. Is that
Oregon's got to
right?
play Texas Tech
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they play Texas Tech. If they win that one. Oh, by the way, Hard Rock Stadium, the Orange Bowl, tickets as low as $38 for that game. What a steal.
Well, yeah, because they have Oregon and Texas Tech playing in Orlando or
Or
Miami,
Miami, yeah.
and like this is like it's so damn stupid. Like you have a team from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and a team from Bloomington, Indiana, playing in Pasadena, California, and then you send the two West Coast teams that are in this damn thing to Miami. The only one that made sense was Georgia and Ole Miss. They're playing in New Orleans. That's the only one that makes sense. What's the other
They
game?
are trying so hard to preserve these bowl games, but with the playoffs, it just doesn't make sense.
What's the other game?
The
Oh,
other game is the Cotton Bowl, which is New Year's Eve tonight. Miami
that's
versus
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State.
That one's okay geographically, I suppose.
Yeah. I think Ohio State beats Miami. I think it's a 9.5 point line. I think Miami keeps it close. I took Miami. Um, Texas
I think
Tech.
Miami.
Wow. I don't know if they win, but I think they cover that line.
I think they
Um,
definitely cover, but I think there's a chance that they win.
you've got the aforementioned Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oregon -2.5. That's in the Orange Bowl tomorrow at noon on New Year's Day. Then you've got Indiana and Alabama in the most beautiful setting in all of college football, the Rose Bowl, 4 o'clock. Indiana -7. You've got Georgia and Ole Miss down on Bourbon Street at the Sugar Bowl, 8 o'clock. Georgia -6. I mean, I think Georgia wins. I think Indiana wins. I think Oregon beats Texas Tech, and I think Ohio State wins in a close one versus Miami. So what's that leave us? Indiana versus Oregon, Ohio State versus Georgia. Is that right?
Mm, mm.
And those games would be at also neutral sites. I think what the Peach Bowl and the what bowl am I missing, Harb? Fiesta, the
Yeah.
Fiesta Bowl.
Well, which one? Where's the national championship this year?
It is in Glendale, Arizona. Oh, nope. It
So the
is in
Fiesta,
It's in Miami at Hard Rock
back-
Stadium.
it's back at the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, back at Joe Robbie Stadium, the Orange Bowl.
So they're sending the two westernmost teams to Florida to play at noon.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oregon is going to
local
be
time,
playing
if
at
you're
9 in the
working,
morning.
yeah, Oregon's going to be playing at 9.
Their
So they're
internal clocks are going to be at 9 in the morning.
in Texas Tech's going to be at 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the dumbest shit. Why didn't you just send them to the Rose Bowl?
College football is leaderless. Harbin, it sucks right now. I was texting Matt Olson, Boston Matt from he lives in Nashville now. It's like I hate the bowl games now because I used to love like tomorrow was always one of my favorite days of the year. You wake up, you eat some breakfast after staying up all night. The Cotton Bowl came on at 11. The Outback Bowl was shortly thereafter. Then you had the Gator, the Citrus. You had the Peach Bowl. I mean, you had that's three like 4 or 5 huge games right there. Then at 4 you had the Rose Bowl. Then at 8 you had the Sugar and the Orange Bowl. I mean, it was like that's what you do on New Year's Day, and that's gone. And these games, besides these playoff games, nobody gives a crap about anymore. Like last night watching that Tennessee Illinois game, I'm normally like on edge, mad, excited. We were in that kickback last night. I just sat there. I just did nothing move like you said. It didn't move the needle. I just didn't care. The game didn't matter. It was just another game for Tennessee to play. Who cares if we lost? It doesn't make a hill of beans in the grand scheme of things. And I hate that because it used to mean like, all right, now we won the Music City Bowl. We're going to go into the off season with a lot of positive momentum. Or crap, we I remember when we lost the Peach Bowl in 2002, and we went like 8-5 that year, and how miserable the off season was. Philip Fulmer's got to change some stuff. This is unacceptable. We had all this talent coming back from that 0-1 team that should have went to the national title game, and we went 8-5. Got blown out by Maryland and LeVar. No, it wasn't LeVar Arrington. He was at Penn State. Whoever that big linebacker was, Maryland just beat the crap out of us in the Georgia Dome, and that off season stunk. Yeah, yeah, they rebounded in 2003 and won 10 games. But that's kind of like I don't feel that way after losing that game last night. I felt exactly the same today as I felt after we lost to Vandy. Even if we won last night, I would have felt exactly the same way after we lost to Vandy. And it sucks. I hate that because these bowl games used to be big deals and mean things, and they don't anymore. And we all knew this is what would happen when the playoffs happen. And it is what it is because we needed the playoffs.
We didn't need 12. I still I still stand on that.
I
And
think
this is one of those years where 12 makes sense.
they needed
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, or 6. Why'd you jump immediately from 4 to 12?
And they're going to extend it to 16. You wait. It'll go to
It's
16.
yeah, it's dumb as
And
shit,
this
is
year's
what it.
playoffs would have been better, but they didn't put the right teams in. Why, James Madison and Tulane do not need to be in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Like we're trying to be fair and
There has
equitable and all that BS. It's not. That's wrong. They're not two of the 12 best teams in college football. Put BYU and Notre Dame in there, and you. I'm not saying the playoffs would be that much better, but the games would have been better last weekend.
there's just never been a college football season where 12 teams deserve to play for a national championship.
I don't think there ever will be. I mean, you
No,
could
and
say
this year is one of the closest ones. The committee got lucky this year because there's a lot of good teams, and there's probably three legit teams in Ohio State, Indiana, and Georgia, in my opinion. But we don't know that for a fact. I don't know. It's just
who was it?
in the format sucks.
Yeah, who was it that said that the NCAA was that Joel Klatt that said the NCAA basketball tournament was the worst sporting event because they let these mid-major conference champions in. Basketball is not the same thing as football. Like basketball, you're a 3 seed playing the 14 seed. That 14 seed might sneak up on you, or the 13 over the 4, or the 12 over the 5, because it's basketball. It's a different game. Football, Tulane's not beating Ole Miss. James Madison's not beating Oregon ever. It's just not going to happen. As John Doty said, friend of the show, that's a homecoming game. That's what teams you
Yeah.
pay to have them teams come up here and play for homecoming. It's not a playoff game, guys.
What killed? And here's another thing. It's stupid as hell to me. We already saw Ole Miss play Tulane
Yeah.
in Oxford
Yeah.
this year. Like, what are we doing? Send them to College Station or somewhere different. Like, I don't know. And how they should do it. I said this last year. Because watch a lot of the teams, or maybe not a lot, but a couple of the teams that had a bye are going to lose either tonight or tomorrow because it's the rest versus rust thing. And if you get a top four seed in the college football playoff, you deserve to get home field advantage. So the first round game should be neutral site, and if you win that game, your reward should be to go to Bloomington or go to Columbus, Ohio, or Lubbock or wherever. Like the top four seeds are kind of getting screwed. Saw that with Oregon last year.
Hmm.
Oregon got number one overall seed last year. Oh, by the way, here's your prize. You get to sit out for 3 weeks, and you get the winner of Tennessee and Ohio State and Pasadena.
Yeah.
And Ohio State beat the ever living dog shit out of them.
Yeah. I mean, just boat raced him. Harb, that's all I got. It's after 1:30 here on New Year's Eve. I got to get you out of here because you got places to be, things to do. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hope Santa Claus visited you. And if he didn't because you've been bad, shame on you. But um, it's been nice to kind of relax these past couple weeks and not have to worry about work or Tennessee football until last night. But hope everybody had a great Christmas. Looking forward to a great new year, and hopefully a great year in 26. If Tennessee basketball can make some noise and Tennessee baseball can do some stuff, and Heupel and staff can figure it out and turn it around in football. But appreciate everybody listening this year, going all the way back to last January with basketball and this summer with baseball. And Vitello leaving, and then football this fall. It's been a long year, but a good year, Harb, and we're going to be back in 26, bigger and better than ever. I do have one announcement that we don't know about tailgating yet, but I've been working on a tailgating logo um, to help us stand out from the crowd. We need an identity, Harb. So I've shared it with the group. There was some comedic. I've been using AI to help me with that, and there was some comedic logos that AI spits out. There was one with a power T on the helmet, obviously due to trademark copyright issues. They can't put out a power T, but they put a T on the helmet with an L. Fitting. I think I shared it on
Yeah.
Twitter last night and Instagram on our socials, but very fitting. But yeah, working on that. We'll have more news about that later on in the spring and the summer. I'm not going to release that right this second. But Harb, have a great New Year's Eve. Got any big plans?
You do the same.
Going to
I'm going to
Armstrong?
work.
Going to Armstrong's?
I'm working.
Oh, you're
Working.
working. Oh, that stinks. It was great to
That
see,
is
for those
annoying.
that listen, it was great to see everybody on New Year's Eve over there at Armstrong's restaurant.
It
That was fun.
was.
That was a
It was a
great
good
night.
time. Yeah, it
Appreciate
was
Blake
fun.
Dutton calling me and letting me know everybody was over there. So I came and hung out with everybody for a couple hours. That was fun night. Good to see many listeners were there. I won't mention your names in case you weren't supposed to be there or should have been somewhere else. But if you're listening, you know who you were. You know who you
Anyway.
were.
Anyway.
Anyway, appreciate everybody listening. Remember to, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share. If you're listening to us, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, we're on there. If you're driving, working out, walking the dog, whatever it may be, appreciate you listening wherever you listen. For Harb, I'm Nice. I guess Harb's on that side. I'm Nice. This has been the Section YY8 podcast.